Welcome back, everyone. Reverend Jesse Jackson once said, never look down on anybody unless you're helping them up. Jackson is a graduate of North Carolina A&T State and HBCU. It's one of a handful of schools that have received a helping hand from one of the most generous individuals in the world, Mackenzie Scott. We traveled to Clark Atlanta University, also an HBCU, that's starting to see real impact from the tens of millions of dollars donated. Scott's money benefits students there in a number of ways, including with the help of her college roommate. On a campus steeped in history, something new is rising. Steel and glass, yes, but also possibility.
Our campus is in a moment of pivotal change.
It's invaluable. I wake up excited to learn.
Just being here at this university, I understand the importance of the shoulders that I stand on.
For the first time in more than 20 years, Clark Atlanta University is building something brand new.
So tell me about the construction that's happening over here.
It's called the Student Success Center, a name that feels less like architecture and more like a promise.
It's mind-changing, you know. You come to Clark Atlanta and you see so many beautiful faces, so many beautiful things.
This building is being made possible by a woman most students here may never meet, but whose impact will shape their lives for decades. Mackenzie Scott has donated more than $1 billion to historically black colleges and universities across the country since 2020. At Clark Atlanta University, her gift is transformational, funding new construction, expanding academic support, and opening doors for some students who once thought college might be out of reach.
Words can't explain what she's done for our exceptional university.
I would not be able to complete my doctoral degree without funding. It not only impacts individuals, it impacts the entire campus, it impacts the communities that we serve, and then it impacts the world that we're going to go into as change agents.
These hallowed grounds have shaped generations of scholars.
Atlanta University in 1865 was established as the first opportunity for African Americans to receive graduate degrees. The PhD, it was right here at Atlanta University.
From its earliest days, this campus has stood as a testament that education could change the trajectory of a people and ultimately a nation.
Hale Woodruff is somewhere in there.
The school's president, Dr. George French Jr., understands the importance of a college degree and the challenge of getting one.
We have individuals who will not, across the nation, not just Clark Atlanta, finish university in their last semester for lack of $2,000. It's a shame.
But a single phone call helped chart a new course for this storied institution.
How did that call come in? What was said? Who said it to you?
So my secretary calls and she says, Mackenzie Scott organization is on the line and they want to speak with you. So I was literally driving, pulled over into the parking lot and prepared myself. They said, we're pleased to announce $15 million will be coming to Clark Atlanta University. I said, wait a minute, excuse me. Did you say, you said 15 million, right? Okay. Yes. I'm unapologetic. I started crying.
Clark Atlanta University is just one of 24 HBCUs receiving life-changing support.
That resource for us is invaluable to this university.
Scott's values were at least in part shaped as a student at Princeton, where she studied under Nobel and Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist Toni Morrison.
I would say that one of the most inspiring and surprising things that she has given me is a real example of a life of passionate devotion to more than one calling.
Toni Morrison's mantra was always write about something that you think is important. Don't start with yourself or with what she sometimes called our small lives, which they were at the time. But think about something that shapes your thoughts about the world more broadly.
Morrison urged her students to look beyond themselves, to think about how their work could shape the world.
I see your life as already artful, waiting, just waiting and ready for you to make it art.
What made you choose Princeton?
I wanted to do creative writing.
Douglas Trevor and Mackenzie Scott were fortunate enough to be two of the 6 students chosen to learn from Morrison in the spring of 1991.
What was your first instinct about Mackenzie Scott? What kind of person was she, student back then?
very lighthearted, very smart, very engaging, and she just had a great sense of humor that made her writing much more alive than it otherwise would have been.
I've never been to Jacksonville.
Another student of Toni Morrison's, Jeannie Tarkenton, who first met Mackenzie Scott at Princeton.
We're just assigned roommates. So I got a list at home, 5 names. One of them was Mackenzie. We show up, and turns out we were actually in a suite. It was 6 women, and she and I ended up sharing a tiny little bedroom. There would have been a world where I started this as a nonprofit, and
Tarkenton and Scott developed a lifelong friendship. The pair stayed in touch after Scott met Jeff Bezos in 1992, who was then creating a little-known startup called Amazon.com. Scott and Bezos were married for 25 years and have 4 children together. After their divorce in 2019, Scott became one of the world's richest women and chose to give her money away in a way that reflected those lessons. Channeling her love of writing into annual essays on her website, Yield Giving, revealing no strings attached donations, doling out $7 billion in 2025 alone to support HBCUs, Indigenous education, and organizations fighting for equality, climate, and community needs.
Seeing the generosity of your friend.
Right.
There are a lot of people who wouldn't ever have access to $1 billion, let alone then give it away in large part. How do you feel about your friend?
I feel not surprised, though I also am incredibly delighted and amazed because that human who can is doing.
In last year's essay, Scott revealed a surprise story about her longtime friend.
She detailed her story about you. And she said, it was the college roommate who found me crying and acted on her urge to loan me $1,000 to keep me from having to drop out in my sophomore year. And after she saw the difference she made in my life, what was she inspired to do 20 years later? Start a company that offers loans to low-income students without a cosigner. And how quickly did I jump at the chance to be one of the people who supported her dream of supporting students just as she had once supported me? And to whom will each of the thousands of students thriving on those generosity and gratitude-powered student loans go on to give? None of us has any idea. What's your reaction to hearing that?
Well, I'm tearing up, and I'm also remembering that Mackenzie writes better than anybody I know. So she put succinctly and powerfully, why I believe I'm put on this planet and we as humans are is to help where we can, in the capacity we can, and for only that reason. And then that we may get a reward from that. We may have a roommate who in the future supports the company that we start out of a passion to help others, and we may not. So when we do things as humans to help our fellow humans, it's just the kind of world and kind of energy I think that I believe we all should be adding. All right, everyone look at me.
What a return on investment for that $1,000 loan that Scott is now paying forward, supporting her friend's company to help students afford college.
Funding U serves students at about 1,400 colleges across the country, so we don't have any screen. Probably 85% of our loans go to students at the in-state university to which they attend. And then the other pool is private universities, including 35 HBCUs. So for every dollar we lend, 30 cents comes from Mackenzie and other philanthropists. And with that 30 cents, we can then get 70 cents of money from a bank.
So it strikes me that there is really a two-prong approach of benefit to a university like Clark Atlanta University, because the student is able to get funding through Funding U, through money that she has put into your company, and then she, in turn, gets money back and then can put it directly into the campus.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, Scarlett, how you doing?
Scott is very quietly teaching students a profound lesson in the power of generosity.
If you were to be able to talk to Mackenzie Scott directly, what would you say?
I would say just thank you. The work that you're doing, that you continue to do, just inspire people like me to just want to give back to the community.
As we walk through campus, prospective students take part in a tradition touching the bust of W.E.B. Du Bois, a famed scholar here who once wrote, Education must not simply teach work, it must teach life. And at Clark Atlanta University, that lesson still lives in classrooms, in community, in opportunity. From W.E.B. Du Bois to Toni Morrison to Mackenzie Scott, that message echoes across generations. Lift as you climb, give as you grow.
Our thanks to Clark Atlanta University and all of the people involved who are sowing seeds to uplift.